Oh boy. After that first episode, I really got to step my game up. If I'm going to make episode two just as good as the first one, I need to think big. Let's see. Should I juggle chainsaws? No, wait. This is a not a visual program. This is an audio program. Oh, wait. I know. I'll interview Kevin Costner. Oh, wait. I don't know Kevin Costner. Um, Gee, what can I do? Hey, I know. I'll just interview Linda Dorsett. The Performers I Know, episode two, coming right at you. These are the performers I know, I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know, I know. These are performers I know. These are the performers I know, I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know, I know. These are performers I know. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the performers I know. This week, we have with us here in the studio, live from the West Coast, from California, the very talented Linda Dorsett.
It is I.
That is correct. It is you. So, once upon a time, I was on casting networks, as I am wont to do, casting for one of my projects, which wound up being in the midnight hour. And I was looking for just the right person to play the character of Emma Lou. I auditioned many young ladies for this role. And Linda just so happened to be one. And things started off rather comically because as I recall, I didn't know that Linda lived on the West Coast. So I had said, oh, okay, I'll see you at 5 o'clock for your audition. 5 o'clock comes and there's no Linda. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm just saying to myself, well, I guess something came up. Okay. 8 o'clock comes and I get an email notification saying Linda Dorsett has entered into the Zoom call. Wait a minute. What's going on? So then your mom was just like, "Oh, we live in California." Oh, didn't we tell you that? No, I probably should have asked that though beforehand.
Lack of information.
That would have been information that I could have used at the moment in the question in time. But it's okay, folks, because I had Linda read Emma Lou's monologue. And when I tell you, she just did this. She closed her eyes, she inhaled and she exhaled, and she just launched into this very slow, very purposeful rendition of the monologue. And by the end of it, I was just like, I don't know where this young lady has come from, but I have to cast her in like every single thing that I do till the end of time because she's that talented. Yes.
I'm touched.
I'm very glad you feel that honor. Now, Linda, the question that I ask all of my guests, what got you into acting in general? Like, what got you bitten by the acting bug?
Ooh. I have answered this question many times in my head before. So, what got me into acting? Before this, I was a singer, a dancer, and I was a model for a photographer. And something clicked in my mind one day and said, hey, what about acting? What about being a quadruple threat? And I think I got into acting because I love playing different characters, getting to read about their backstories, and playing that off in my own character, portraying them off of me. I can do different voices, get my hair in different styles for audition tapes, and when I'm in front of the camera, it's so there's a rush of adrenaline that goes through my body, and when it's time to say my line, I will give it all I got 100% on the very first line to get their attention, to get casting networks, casting directors' attention, the director, the producer, anybody who is seeing me on camera. I want to get their attention from the very first second. And acting gives me the opportunity to be a different person, to be in a different world every single day. And I think that is just so cool that I, as a person, am able to do that with my emotions on camera. So that's why I got into acting.
You really rehearsed all that in your head, did you?
Yes, it's all a script in there.
Because I have never seen anybody ever just so without even hesitating, like, well, this, that, and the other thing. This is why I wanted to be a performer. So, um, what was Birds, Bees, and Threes your first major project, or had you done things before that?
Birds, Bees, and Threes was my first major project. I was a triplet named Heather Hudson, and to be one of the co-stars on that short film, that was my very first big role. And there's actually a story behind that. I had been auditioning for like 3 months before that because I had just started getting into it. And my dad wakes me up in the middle of the night and says, "Guess who got Heather Hudson?" And I jump out of bed and start screaming in my pillow because it had it was my very first big role that I was going to be a triplet. I was going to be on screen, and that was so exciting for me because I really wanted to be not I wanted to be the center of attention when I was little because I wanted to
Hey, listen,
kind of
ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that.
yeah, I wanted to
I wanted to be the center of attention too. I mean, look at me
I
now.
think I'm gonna put it in. I wanted to play with people's hearts on the screen.
Oh, wow, look at that. You know,
Yeah,
when you're up there getting your Oscar or your Emmy or your Tony, whichever one comes first, that'll be. I just wanted to play with people's hearts, and now I won all your hearts, just like I won this award.
no, that was cheesy. That was a good cheesy thing that I might put in my speech. You
I
know.
mean, have you seen some award speeches?
Oh yeah, I have, and every
I've
single
not even
time
I've not even scratched the surface of what could be considered cheesy or not.
I turn to my mom and I go, "They had to rehearse that. That was so cheesy."
They well, I mean, I would assume most people who are nominated have an idea of what they're going to say. They're not just going up there like, I want to thank my garbage man.
Yeah, they
I want to
have an
thank
idea. They have an idea in their heads because I think when they're first nominated, they're just like, "Okay, where's my acceptance speech? Where is it?"
yes. So you did in the midnight hour, and if I recall correctly, this was the first time you had ever done voice acting.
My mom, when she got me into acting, when I told her I wanted to be an actress, she said, "You know what? Your voice would be perfect for voice acting." And I'm like, "Okay, let's give it a shot." And when In the Midnight Hour came up, I was really excited because I got to say a big monologue for Emma Lou. And
Mhm.
when I read the monologue, it played with my heart. It was
Oh,
really
well,
cool.
well, the one thing that really stuck out to me after the recording ended and everything went up, it's the little things that you did, like the little nuances, like if your
Yeah.
character was scared, you or if you were hitting the back of the bad guy who was played by George Geef.
Mhm.
Great guy, that George Geef.
Yes, he is.
You had that um, sense of anger and that sense of like, oh no, let him go. And and I said
Yeah.
this to your mom that those little nuances that you put into your character really it really helps for a person to get noticed in the audition world.
To be honest with you, I thought that I wasn't gonna get the role at all in the Midnight Hour for Emma Lou because those little touches I did. There was one thing that I did on the audition tape where I took the glasses and I kind of went and cleaned them for Michael, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh God, I'm not gonna get the role. I did screen acting. This is voiceover. Nobody's gonna literally see me in my
Um,
actions."
well, if I can let you in on a little secret, you might want to sit down for this, but that was one of the things that kind of cinched it for you is the
Really?
like, oh, she I understand the character is holding his glasses. It wasn't like
Because
a
yeah,
per I mean, it wasn't like a person going, okay, I am saying the lines now. Okay, I'm handing him the glasses.
yeah, I didn't want to be like a robot, like just doing the motions in the script. I kind of wanted to play with it to get your attention, which I'm glad I did. But I remember when we were doing the final product in the Midnight Hour, I did all those little things I did in the audition because it helped me portray Emma Lou as the character that she was.
Yes. You played magnificently off of Keaton McCrae, who was Michael, who I really hope I get to work with him again because he was another one who just came out of nowhere. Like, where did you come from? Who are you?
Yeah,
This is
as
great.
somebody who was just starting out, I mean, he was an amazing actor. He was
Yes.
awesome.
And I believe that this transitioned into your role in Z. I don't know what the correct pronunciation of it is. Z?
Oh, ZZ, it's Z's.
Oh, Z's. Okay, well,
Z's. Yes, by Felipe Vargas.
my apologies to Felipe.
Yeah, at first I was like, is it pronounced ZZZs or Z's? I didn't know.
I don't know either. Now you and your mom mentioned Z's,
Yeah.
zibbity zib zibbity bop very briefly, but I actually don't remember really asking what did you do? Like what was the synopsis for this voiceover?
So the short film Z's by Felipe Vargas was about a woman. She was unnamed, but there was a woman who goes into this like deep, dark dungeon that sells drugs that enhance your memories. And she was a widow. And when she entered Dr. Z's, it's literally his name, Dr. Z's kind of like drug dungeon. She's put under by this teenage kid who's working for the doctor. And the drug, it's like a sand that they put on her face and all over her body. And this sand drug enhances the deepest, darkest memories. And I remember when I was doing the voiceover for Felipe, he asked me to scream like I was screaming at my mother, which I thought was very hard because I never would say in real life, I hate you to my mom because that means bad news. But um,
Hmm.
when he asked me to yell, I hate you, this is all your fault, when I saw the finished product, I finally realized why he was saying that because he really didn't give me a clear vision of what the script is. He just gave me words to yell at like what I would yell at a mom. And when I saw the finished product, it all came to me. That's why he asked me to do it. Because in the short film, the woman is seeing these memories from her past, and I played the daughter. There was another girl the same age as me who was playing the daughter on the screen, but they wanted my voice for the voice
Oh,
act.
I see. So you were the voice, and there was somebody else who was the physical
Mm-hmm.
person.
Yeah, and
I see.
when I saw that, the daughter who was playing on screen wasn't voicing me, like she wasn't moving her mouth to say what I said. She was somebody who just had to do the actions in the short film while I was the voice. And when I said, I hate you, this is all your fault, that's when the short film gets like really dark because it's a daughter turning on her mother. And it was super cool to see it and the behind the scenes videos that they showed, because not being there on screen when they were shooting it, I felt like it was a little bit hard because I mean, I wasn't going to get those memories, but just doing the voice acting for it was truly phenomenal in my mind because I knew I had a feeling. I get this feeling every time I think a role is really important, like I got for In the Midnight Hour, Birds, Bees, and Threes, Z's. It's just this feeling where I know this is going to take off. And it did take off a lot. And it was followed by many other films from Felipe Vargas. But Z's was my first professional voiceover role. And it's an experience that I will never forget.
Well, that's fantastic. Birds, bees, and threes, and Z's. That
Yeah,
totally
there's one in
rhymes.
the middle too, but
Yes.
I'm really thankful for everything that I've done because it's all an experience. There might be separate things, separate experiences for each one, but at the end of the day, it all comes together as something I've achieved, which I think is really cool.
Well, you parlayed that into a second voiceover role for my camp when you were Emily in When a Cat Comes Back,
Yeah.
sharing the screen with Ryan Hill, the lovely, oh so awesome Canadian.
Yeah, I loved working with him. He was awesome. The not on-screen chemistry, but the voice acting chemistry that we had between each other as a brother and a sister, it was really cool to experience that. He's an amazing actor, and I am I'm
I
really
I mean, I agree. But see, the problem is it's hard to really support his work because most of it is behind a paywall in Canada.
I
Oh,
know.
are you listening, Canada? Please, just
Give
for
back
goodness sake.
Ryan.
Hey, maybe if I get a sponsorship from Project VPN, listen,
Yeah.
VPN, if you're listening, I'll totally give you like, shoot me like a free thing. I'll totally just say anything you want. Linda will endorse. She'll juggle chainsaws while she extols the virtues of
Hey, I'm not getting in the middle of this. This is your fight, okay?
it. It was worth the shot.
So when a cat comes back was originally portrayed in Canada?
I mean, well, it's funny you say that because the cartoon that I was inspired by was called The Cat Came Back, and it was a
Oh.
very famous Canadian cartoon.
Hmm.
But I just took it like, what if we did it a little more dramatically rather than make it a comedy like it was originally intended?
Yeah, I think we made it a little less with a comedy by breaking somebody's neck.
I was gonna say, yeah, poor George fell out the window.
Hey, Graham deserved it.
Graham was kind of a jerk. I can't say what I really want to say because there's a young lady present, but
Yeah, when I was flipping through the script, I was thinking to myself in my head, wait, Ryan has to say that word?
well, I'll
Oh.
tell you, it's nothing he hasn't heard before. Let me just put it
Oh,
to you.
yeah, we've all heard the word.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we should say it all willy-nilly, like just as
Mm-mm.
as a noun.
It was put throughout the script, very secret. Like it was just here and there, not
Okay.
stupid. Like it just not all the way, but it was put very strategically.
Okay. If everybody wants to be let in on a little secret, I hid 27 F-bombs throughout the script.
What?
Linda found 14 of them. She's very good.
Oh yeah.
Not really. I can't back that up.
Yeah, I also every time I went in your scripts, I always found something which really upset you, but I always found typos in the script. Like, hey Dane, here's a typo.
Well, that really bugs me because I, as a writer, I take that very seriously. So when I
Yeah,
see like a glaring spelling error or um, you know, something that just doesn't belong, I'm just like,
I quit. I'm done.
that's it. I quit. You know what, Linda, you're writing the scripts now. That's it.
Oh yay! I get
So,
to replace you.
oh yeah, isn't that fun?
No, nobody could replace you.
Oh,
You're what's the word? Unique in your own way.
the check's in the mail. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're somebody who knows what Doctor Who is.
you know what? We're not even gonna get into that right now. There's all right. You know, we might as well. There's this little thing that Linda and I do where I will name off some kind of a pop culture reference, and Linda just gives me these dumbfounded looks like, "What's that? I don't know what that is." She
I'm
knows what this.
scared. I'm scared to say what is that because then you're gonna walk off with your what is it the Grinch puppet?
The, my off-brand Cookie Monster puppet.
Oh, okay, I wasn't even close, but
Well, oh, excuse me. Legally distinct monster, just in case anybody from Sesame Workshop is listening.
oh yeah. I love Sesame. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but there's something that Neil and I do where we just like he brought up Mrs. Doubtfire one time, actually Jordan when the cat comes back, and me and Ryan are like, uh,
well,
what
see,
is Mrs. Doubtfire?
here's the thing with Ryan. He has admitted to me that sometimes he does that purposely just to get me mad. So I
I've
don't
done
know
I've done
sometimes.
that to you. I've done that
I
to you before.
sometimes he's just like, no, I know what it is. I just wanted to see what you would say if I didn't know what it was.
It's fun to see you mad. It's exhilarating.
Well, I live to serve. That's my purpose is to get mad and to make people laugh. That's what it's all about, really.
Yeah, but I just love. I said what's Doctor Who, and just for your information, guys, I still don't know what Doctor Who is.
All right, we're not going to get into that
So
right now.
what's the next thing on the list?
The next the next big project was the Songbird and Her Violinist,
Ah, yes.
where Linda got to show off her singing chops.
Yes, in the opera world, I had to sing "I Wonder" from Sleeping Beauty, which
Yeah.
before you brought it up, I didn't even know. I mean, I've seen Sleeping Beauty before many times because I'm a big Disney fan, but I never really paid attention to the songs as much as I did the voice acting. So when I heard "I Wonder" for the first time, it was probably one of my favorite opera songs that I've heard from. I believe her name is Mary Costa.
Yes.
Knew
You did mention in passing that you kind of you know her somewhat. in a way?
My vocal coach, Michelle Mountain, her vocal coach when she was training in the opera world, her vocal coach knew Mary Costa. They were good friends.
Hmm.
So that was kind of cool to learn about that because love I love Mary Costa. She has this beautiful angelic voice that makes it perfect for voice acting, especially in the Disney industry.
Well, I will say that you played off of Jacob Perlman as Brendan, and what I loved about Jacob was he just had this sweet bashfulness about him that bled into his acting.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Nadia, well, and I was just like, oh my God, that would be so adorable if he and Linda were cast together. And you know something? That's exactly what I did.
That's I was listening to the song her songbird and her violinist a few weeks ago, and when I heard his voice, I'm just like, doesn't that just melt your heart? And then here comes Madame again.
Yes, Miss Ruth Rooney, you guys also had very good chemistry together.
Yeah, it was awesome. When I first met her, when we were all on the Zoom meeting, I knew I was gonna have such an amazing time acting and working with her because
Yeah.
she has that kind of. I was just in Cinderella and Madame Brenda O'Brien. They kind of had the exact same voice and the timbre in their voice, like do it again, that sort of thing.
You know, I'm glad you brought up Cinderella because that was the last little thing on my list here. Recently, you had the honor of being in the Sierra Repertory Theater's production of Cinderella.
Yes.
Now, how did that come about?
Okay, funny story, also a really cool story, also I don't really understand story. So we were in North Carolina, me, my grandma, my uncle, my mom, and we get the call from Jerry Lee, the executive producer at Sierra Repertory Theater, that they're doing the adult play of Cinderella. And there's two like plays that they do at SRT. There's SRT Junior, where it's all the kids, and then there's SRT where it's like the adults from New York and all over. So when we get the call I that they wanted me to be in Cinderella, I just heard my mom outside screaming, "Yes, yes, yes! Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you!" I'm like, "What is going on out there? Did I get a call back or something?" And she comes inside the house and she goes, "Guess who was in Cinderella at SRT?" And I'm like, "SRT Junior? No, the adult play." And I remember going ballistic. I was so excited because I had seen Jersey Boys, Elf. I had seen the SRT plays there with the adults. And I also know that in adult plays, like Into the Woods and Elvis and stuff that they have done in the past, there were kids, but a very selective few because there was an adult setting there, and some kids are just kind of like they play around in the green room, in the dressing rooms, and it's not good for the adult setting. So when they thought of me, I was flattered. And you know how old Jerry Lee thought I was? He thought I was 15 years old. Do I look 15? Do
No,
I? I
I'm.
don't look 15.
I feel like Jerry was in for quite a surprise.
But he thinks, yeah, he thought that I was 15 because of how mature I was around the other kids. I didn't let them bug me. I didn't play around with them when um, Charlie Monday and Christopher Michael were talking, which was our director and our choreographer. So when he thought I was 15, my mom said, "Sir, she's 11."
Well,
What?
Charlie Monday saw you on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Actually,
I'm sure
that's
he's
funny that
probably
you
heard
say
that one.
that. we did Frozen Junior on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so
Oh, well.
yeah,
There you
but then he said that he'd love for me to be in Cinderella, and it was November 3rd to December 17th. So it's just ending, and it's kind of weird for me to be off of the schedule of Cinderella
Well,
because I was
I
like,
one of the your mom posted a video
mhm,
of what I assume was the curtain call,
yes.
and at first it looked to me like you were yelling at somebody in the audience, like "Arr, arr, arr, arr." It took me about 5 or 6 seconds to be like, oh, they're singing.
Yeah, we were singing. It was a musical, Dane. But
Oh, I'm,
yeah, we
well,
had to sing, and I think it was exhausting for me because we live an hour away from the theater where we perform Cinderella. So every single day we had to get up an hour before, get there an hour early. I had to do my makeup and stuff. Then we drive an hour home, and sometimes the plays ended at like 9:15, so it took an
uh,
hour to get there, and then I had to get all cleaned up. So I went to bed at usually 11:30, 11:50. So
oh,
that was to get off that schedule right now is it's weird. But when I was doing Cinderella, I made friends with the adults during lift call and in the dressing room and intermission. And it was just so awesome to be with them and see the mature adult setting. Because with the kids, it's sort of like we get a break and everybody just goes on their phones and starts laughing at TikToks. And with the adults, we do lift call intermission, we go over our lines. At intermission, we just kind of relax and stretch before big dance scenes. And to be in that mature setting was super cool because I think I like the adults better than the kids, to be honest with you, because it was just so cool to see a professional mannerism. And I was with two other kids, Bree and Quinn Igo, which have been in 4 adult plays and like 8 SRT junior stuff. And they kind of taught me how to be around the adults. Quinn taught me how to interact with them, while Bree taught me about like what they like to talk about on the set or the theater and what they like to do when we have our hour-long breaks. And usually during the hour-long breaks, they left, got food, or just spent it in the town, and then they come back 15 minutes before we start again, and they do lift call and everything. So I will say it was very different from SRT Junior, and it was a
mm,
very amazing thing to be a part of.
I I'm just imagining them being like, okay, that's three-tooth Joe. He only has 2 teeth, despite his name. Don't ever talk to him about rakes. He doesn't like rakes. He
And
will.
it's literally like they taught me, Brie and Quinn taught me about their names and stuff. And I was about to say something to Kevin, and they said, "Don't say that to him. He will get mad at you, Linda." I'm like,
Hmm.
uh, okay,
Okay.
never mind.
So we are just about out of time.
Ah, oh, dang.
I know the by the old clock on the wall. I will say this though. I very much enjoy working with Linda, and I am developing a project for her coming up in this new year based on the fact that I know she can do a Betty Boop impression. So I'm just parlaying that into. Also, the fact that Linda has a YouTube page for everybody who wants to check that out.
Yes, Linda Dorsett. We just hit 60
I
subscribers, and
just,
I cannot be more happy.
the funny thing is, apparently you were supposed to do some kind of live on like 3 days ago, and,
Okay,
and it's still waiting for you to be on the air. Like, yeah, any minute
okay.
now.
my Uncle Jake is in town, you guys. And I was kind of like, oh, shoot, let's just schedule that for 3 days. And then it comes, and I look at my YouTube channel because I just thought of the live, and I look at it, and it's completely off of my YouTube channel. Like, it's just gone. So there will be more lives and videos coming up, mostly just gaming and talking about after Cinderella and stuff. And I would really like to hit 100 subscribers on Valentine's Day. So please subscribe and like.
That's right. Everybody get in on that.
And also subscribe to Vagabond Theater because they got some pretty cool videos.
Yeah, I heard they're okay. They're not. It's no George Geedy. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, there's somebody in there. I think his name is Dane. I don't really know the guy.
I don't know. He's some guy from New York, something like that.
Some guy that I can't pronounce his last name. Forgiani.
Forgiani. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, thank you very much to Linda Dorsett.
Yay!
And we will be seeing you guys real soon with another fun episode of The Performers I Know as we let the music intro take us out. And yeah, we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
These are performers I know.
These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are performers I know.